Hey there, friends. Good morning. It is such an incredible day, isn't it? All I can say is I am grateful for so much. I'm grateful for our modern technology that allows me to speak directly to you. I am grateful for the ability to hop on a plane and fly across the country and connect with people who want to change their lives. I am grateful for our 3 simple steps in the morning because you know what? I didn't get home until after midnight last night and I could be exhausted today, but I'm not. So what are you grateful for? Drop it in the comments. And are you ready for momentum in your business? Drop it in the comments. My hope is that the comments work today so I can see your chats. But first of all, I want to send out a heartfelt acknowledgement of all of our friends in California who have been suffering from the fires. All of us are praying for you, and I know we'll see some comments here as well from people that are in prayer for you and over your homes and your businesses and your families. And you know, our hearts really do go out to you, and it is heartbreaking, but you know what? We can always be refined, can't we? So this is a moment of refinement for everyone that has experienced that. And the truth is, in life, we all face times where we need to be surrounded in prayer. So the prayer warriors are here, and we are praying for you, okay? I want to dive in today about momentum. And you hear me talk about this all the time. If you follow me at all, this applies to anyone in any network marketing business. In fact, it probably will even apply to those who are an entrepreneur and running their own business. They could be a coach, a trainer, a personal trainer, own a gym, whatever. This will apply to you. But basically, the level of success that you're going to allow into your life is really up to you. Okay, and I'm going to read a quote for you that I think is very applicable to this live stream today. I am all that I have to work with, to play with, to suffer, and to enjoy. It is not the eyes of others that I am wary of, but my own. I do not intend to let myself down more than I can possibly help. And I find that the fewer illusions I have about me or the world around me, the better company I am for myself. Now, you all probably know this, that I have mentored really thousands of people, helped and supported them to building 6- and 7-figure businesses. And one common thread that I see time and again is that self-sabotage is one of the biggest causes of failure in their business, both during their first 90 days and beyond. We can see self-sabotage pop up when people are crossing the threshold of a new level of income that they've never experienced before. We can see self-sabotage pop up when we have people that they're really pushing themselves beyond their comfort zone and they're getting close to a goal. And then they derail, right? And they are 3 feet from gold. So if you all have read the Napoleon Hill book, you know what 3 feet from gold is, don't you? 3 feet from gold is that story about the gold miner in the 1800s who dug for gold for 20 some years and gave up, sold the mining claim, and the person who bought it the next day went out to dig for gold and 3 feet later struck gold, millions of dollars. Okay, so how close are you to your goal? And what is your struggle as you approach that goal? I want to hear it. Drop it in the comments. Have you ever found yourself 3 feet from gold? Because here's the thing I want you to know, understand this. It is always darkest before the dawn, right? But the sun always rises. So if you just dig in, if you access that place within yourself where you are unstoppable, you will surpass whatever your goal is. And as we're coming up on the end of the year, this is the perfect time to have this conversation because I want you to reflect over the last 90 days, the last 6 months, over this past year. Have you self-sabotaged during this time? And if you have, face it. Feel the feelings of how it feels when you say you're going to do something and then you sabotage it. feel the feelings. It sucks, right? Mourn it. Spend some time with your pity party. I always say, I'm going to give myself 3 minutes for the cry, and then I'm going to get up and get moving. Because here's the difference between someone who self-sabotages and turns into a failure and someone who self-sabotages and turns into a success story. The success story person, they feel the feelings of the failure and they allow it to refine them, not define them. They tell themselves that this is a lesson I get to learn and apply to the rest of my life. Then they get up and they get moving, right? They get refocused on whatever it is that their plan is for their business, because otherwise what happens, you all? If you sabotage, you derail, and then you don't feel the feelings and you go into avoidance, that's where we start to see problems. So look at, I'm in my jammy pants. I got leopard print jammy pants on, just hanging out in my chair chatting with you. And I want you to understand that there are times when you're going to be afraid to admit that the self-sabotage was at the heart of the failure. And so then what do people do? They blame. They blame somebody else, right? They blame the economy. They blame social media. They blame their business partners, their upline leaders, their team. They don't take ownership. This will never create the success that you desire. If you're not willing to face yourself in the mirror, feel the feelings, deal with yourself, right? And then grow from it, how will you create momentum in your business? Now, the reason we're having this conversation today is because I want you to reflect on this past year and ask yourself, what's in it within me that has held me back from hitting my goal? And thank you for clicking those hearts, because the more hearts you click and the more comments you drop, the more people will see this on Facebook and the more lives we will touch. So click that share button and get your team members on here, and then also type share it if you do click the share button, and I'll shout you out. And if you're watching the replay, please click or type replay. Okay, Carmel says you have a choice for the way you feel. You are the CEO of your own business. Absolutely. And Carmel, you're the CEO of your own life. Think about that. Like, you have the choice for how you feel. Carmel, thank you for sharing. So yes, you get to just totally take ownership. And there's a lot of really, really cool things that can happen when we make the decision to step up and be empowered and take ownership in our lives, to take ownership for our feelings rather than to blame people. So here I am this past week. I did 3 different mastermind groups with some team members down in the Carolinas, and it was interesting because frequently I would hear the way that people would speak, and they would take this disempowered point of view in how they talk, right? So a lot of times they would say, somebody made me feel ... And I'm like, nobody makes you feel anything. You choose how you feel. And at first, you might go into an automatic default way to feel when you face a challenge, but you choose if you continue to feel that or if you decide to get back on track. Am I right? Thank you, Stephanie. I just like to speak from the heart, so hopefully this is resonating with you all today. Are you liking this message today? So I want you to understand that if you make this decision to build a rock solid foundation in terms of your spiritual, your mindset, your body, right? You're prioritizing yourself. You have decided to love yourself for who you are. There's nothing wrong with you. God made you perfectly, right? So whatever messages you've received throughout your life, it's not true. I want you to get into alignment with what God has placed on your heart today, because I know you all have some desire for how you want to help and serve and love people. But guess what? You cannot do that if you do not love yourself. So let's start there, okay? Now, there's a couple tips, not tricks. well, I guess they are tricks if you consider that it's not talked a lot about in business. But because I've made a mission statement to put God in the forefront of my business and to give him the glory, that's why you hear these kind of messages from me. So here's the thing. This is what I was going to share. That you want to get yourself in alignment. Like I was sharing this earlier, that if you're incongruent with what your soul's calling is and the way that you're showing up in your life, and you're sabotaging yourself, that is called incongruent. Incongruency will lead to you going into derailment. That could be physical, that could be spiritual, and that could be emotional, that could be with relationships, that could be your health and wellness, right? If you're incongruent, meaning you know that you've got some kind of passion in the world to change people's lives. You have gifts that you know that God has given you, and then you say you're going to do something and you don't because you let fear take root. And remember this, fear literally stands for false evidence appearing real, and you choose fear over faith. Do you see what's happening? That's called incongruency. So that also is a place where you're not loving yourself first, and you are telling yourself you're not worthy. You're not worthy to share your message. You're not worthy to change people's lives. You're not worthy to bring in that kind of income that you have said that you desire. And so then what happens with this incongruency is this self-sabotage happens. We go into distraction. We feel overwhelmed. Things become ridiculous in our lives. In whatever way that might appear for you. Drop in the comments. Have you guys ever experienced what I'm talking about here, or am I totally off base? I'm pretty sure that this is going to resonate with you guys, because all of the leaders that I met with this week were like, whoa, you are hitting the nail on the head. So I want you to think about this, because there's going to be, I'll share 4 cornerstones with you for success. And I want you to take note. You can drop them in the comments and then come back and drop them into your journal if you would like. But go ahead and type them as I share them. But number 1 is take full responsibility for your own business. Take full responsibility for your own business. Number 2 is have an exciting view of the future and a strong sense of purpose, right? Have an exciting view of the future and a strong sense of purpose. So that literally means is take some time to vision what it is that you want to see happen in your life. And know this, that those desires that you have in your heart that you want, that are on your vision board, or that you can even see an indication of feeling maybe a little jealous of somebody that has a lifestyle or are giving big in the world. If you feel a little envious of that and you wish you could do that, that's indication that you want that too. So what do you think that is for you? So again, number 1 is take full responsibility for your own business. Number 2 is have an exciting view of the future and a strong sense of purpose. Number 3 is being sufficiently dissatisfied with where you're at today. And thank you for clicking the share button. Being sufficiently dissatisfied with where you are today, right? If you're dissatisfied with where your life is at today and how you have not been self-disciplined, maybe you've been blaming others. Maybe you've done things against your fellow man that is sinful. Ask for forgiveness, right? Dissatisfied. Don't blame others. You created it. Number 4 is having a strong belief in yourself and your business. Okay? Having a strong belief in yourself and your business. Jorge, thanks for clicking share. Hey, Gary, thanks for hopping on. But if one of these 4 areas is weak, it will be difficult to succeed. These are the 4 cornerstones of a strong foundation for your business. So again, your first cornerstone, and you've heard me talk about this too in the past, your locus of control. Locus of control. Do you know that term? Have you heard of locus of control before? Drop a yes in the comments if you have. Locus of control literally means, where are you placing responsibility? Is it within yourself, or is it out there and you have no control over things? Okay? That's a hard pill for us to swallow, because here I feel we are culturally conditioned to place blame on others. right? Rather than take ownership for things. We kind of live in a society of the victim mentality and lack of ability to change our financial future. I remember I felt that way. I did. That's why I became an entrepreneur, though, was because I was prompted to change that situation. So I had to take ownership. I had to take responsibility for the fact that the choices that we had made created the debt that we had. $500,000 in debt, you all, that's not pretty. That's not fun. That keeps you up at night. But it was through our choices that we had created that debt. I had to take ownership for that. It really sucked. It really sucked. And I shed a lot of tears over it because I had made mistakes, right? When I was younger and in an abusive relationship, I had to take ownership for that too because I ignored red flags. Yeah, I don't say that I created the situation that he was abusive, but I ignored red flags. I could have left earlier. Do you see what I'm saying? We have an active role in creating the life that we are living now. And if we want to change that, we have to become aware of the way that we think. And where is that locus of control? Is it within us? Or is life just happening to us? So I want you to think about that. To what degree are you participating in creating this life that you're dissatisfied with? And remember, if you want to change your life, you need to have an exciting view of what it is that you want to create, right? So think about, what is it that you want to create? When I was in my 20s, I made a decision that I did not want to live the rest of my life with an abusive person in my life, right? I did not want that. Was it hard to create the freedom and leave that? Heck yeah. Oh my word. Hello. Horrible. But I had to do it because I had to actually take ownership that I was a participant in creating this life that was not satisfying. Do you see? I actually had started praying and journaling. This is really, I'm just going to go back there for you for a minute. You might enjoy this piece because I had decided that I needed to start writing letters to God because the situation that I was in was not healthy, right? It was not healthy. And I had to make the decision that God knew what was meant for me in my life. I had to place my faith over my fear because the fear piece was keeping me stuck in an abusive relationship because I was afraid of what it was to be alone. And also I was afraid of what he would do, right? Would I have to take legal action and get the courts involved, whatever. So yeah, it wasn't pretty, wasn't fun. But I had to make the decision that something needed to change. So the first thing I did was I bought a journal and I started writing letters to God. I started taking ownership for my role in creating the life that I was living at that time. And it, like I said, you guys, it was not pretty. It was painful. I had to feel the emotions when I wrote them on the paper. That really sucked. And I woke up one night in the middle of the night and I had this sudden, like literally have you ever felt this, you all, where you jolt up in your bed and you like wake up? It's like an epiphany, I call this. And I literally like sat straight up in my bed and I said it out loud. I am choosing man and life here on earth over God and eternal life because God is prompting me to leave this relationship and I'm creating excuses and not doing it. That was a hard wake-up call for me at the age of 21. So through journaling, though, I found the strength and the truth. And then I started reading more about God and Christianity, and I'd been raised Catholic, and so I had a lot of guilt and shame when it came to sin, etc. But I decided in that moment that if God could speak to me in that way when I had been searching for answers, that it had to be true. And so I made the decision in that moment to choose my faith and that truth over that fear. Why am I sharing this? Because I think that it can relate to you all for what you're creating in your business or in your life. And I want you to just take ownership of your participation in what you are creating. And you know how I am. I like to go off on these tangents, and sometimes they relate, and sometimes they are like prompted, I believe, by God because someone is meant to hear the message. I don't know. But it really is not following my outline. So hopefully this is creating a level of understanding for where we're going, and even an understanding for who I am. But I want you to start to ask yourself some of these questions, because this will help you to understand who it is you're meant to be in this world, okay? And that locus of control, I don't really think we teach our children how to do it. And it's not really talked about in the marketplace or on social media or in movies or television shows. So many times people they're blaming others for where they're at, okay? Like, I could have blamed that guy for being an abusive person, and it could have been all of his fault. But like I said, the truth was, I continued to stay. Like, I would break up, I'd go back to him. I mean, it was so much about my participation in it and in creating that. And I've learned something since then called the organism theory. And what that means is, when one organism in a group of organisms, this could be down to the bacterial level, or this could be humans, or it could be a herd of horses, or whatever. When one of them makes a change and they decide to show up differently and they act differently, all organisms must shift as a result. That's the organism theory. So good. Have you guys heard of that before? So if you're not happy with some relationship or your family dynamic or whatever it is, make the decision to take the locus of control and be the person who is not blaming, is not reactive, doesn't get explosive, angry, yelling, etc. Because let me share this. Since we're going there, right? So here I was in that abusive relationship. Part of my self-preservation was I became very volatile as a result. Right? I would fly off the handle. I would have swearing fits at this guy. And we were engaged to be married, by the way. And so after I left him and all that happened, and, I went through 2 years of traveling and really trying to discover myself and who I am. And I had made a commitment to be single rather than settle for a situation like that again, because I had also learned during that time we repeat our patterns until we heal them. What you resist will persist. So I made the decision that I'm going to heal this. I'm going to get to know me. I'm going to pray. I'm going to develop my relationship with God. I'm going to develop my intuition. And I'm not going to ignore these red flags in the future, right? I made that decision then at the age of 21. And so through this journey, eventually I came to meet Rob, who is my current husband now. Today, we've been married for 16 years. And I had the same pattern. Anytime that I felt unsafe in terms of any type of little conflict, it didn't even have to be a big conflict. It didn't matter. I would try to incite anger in him. I would provoke him. I would swear at him. I would chase him down the hallway trying to yell at him when he was like, I'm not going to talk about this right now with you like this. I mean, he has been so incredible through my healing, which took years. And part of it was that I had learned a way to show up in a relationship, and to feel safe, I would fight. Have you guys ever experienced that? And you're like, whoa, I got to take a look in the mirror here, because what could I have created in Rob? Do you see now? Do you see how I could have recreated that situation? Because how much pushing can a man take from a woman who's yelling and swearing at him and blaming him all the time? That could have ended not very pretty. But he never took the bait. He was like, what are you doing? No, I am not going to engage with you like this. No. He was so strong. And I had prayed for God to put a man in my life like that, right? But then when I had it, I almost self-sabotaged it. Anyway, how does this relate to momentum? I don't even know. I don't even know where this is all coming from, because I haven't even been thinking about it. So you know how God works for me. I just follow my promptings and share. But basically, it boils down to that locus of control is what I'm saying. Taking the ownership, that's what it was, right? I decided I needed to take ownership. And so yeah, it sucked because I sucked. And I needed to step up. I needed to grow up. I needed to make the decision that I needed to discipline myself rather than fly off the freaking handle, right? It's ridiculous. I'll still swear sometimes. I know that I shouldn't. I know it says it in the Bible that I shouldn't. In fact, it's funny because even over the weekend, when I was with our friends in the Carolinas, I said, the funny thing is I said, God will effing blow your mind. And Blair was like, Elise. I was like, I know. Where does it come from? I just blurted it out. Anyway, it's super funny, super funny. So I gotta get back to my outline because I'm really off track here. So here is the locus of control assessment. I'm going to ask you some questions and you can comment, okay? Do you believe that you can choose your response in business situations? Do you believe that you can choose to move forward with courage? Do you believe you have the power to make things happen? Do you believe that you can control your words or what you say? There was a time I did not feel that I could. Did you believe you could learn to overcome your fears that hold you back? Do you believe that you have no alternatives in life and it's just the way it is? Do you believe that you can adapt satisfactorily when life events impact your business adversarially, right? So things happen, right? For example, our friends in California, they're experiencing the fires. Do they believe that they can adapt through this? That's your locus of control, right? Do you believe that setting goals increases your chance of success? Do you believe that you are responsible for your own success? Do you believe that you can change and adapt if you want to? Do you believe that your past dictates your potential? This is a huge one right here. Are you open to taking risks? Do you believe that your attitude affects your level of success? Or is it all luck and chance and some people are just lucky? Think about that. Thanks, Crystal, for the hearts. Are you at peace most of the time? Are you aware of how your self-talk impacts your success? Do you believe you can cultivate the right thoughts if you want to? Do you believe that success in networking depends on your leader? Are you open to new ideas and perspectives? Here's a good one. Are you happy with your personal life? Are there things you need to change there? Are you using visualization as a tool for business growth? Do you surround yourself with people who support your personal growth? Do you surround yourself with those who support your professional growth? Do you believe that you can expand your horizons as far as you can imagine? Also, do you believe that you can change your habits to produce better results? Filling this out, or, coming back, like Callie said, she's going to come back and watch the replay and journal about these. I kind of read them a little bit slowly so that you can press pause, write it down, write your answer, write why you believe that, maybe, and then write what your new belief is. This could change everything for you. Back when I was telling you that I made the decision to take ownership of my life, my actions, my thoughts, my words, and start to discipline myself, right? I had to discipline myself, like big time, to get to where I am today. And it's been a process. It's been a process, but I'm going to tell you what, so worth it. And the cool thing about network marketing is, in any business if you're building it online, the cool thing is that you get to create the life that you desire. And your level of income is directly tied to your willingness to do the personal development. Who would I be today had I continued to blame others? Who would I be today had I continued to allow my words to cast, I don't know even how to phrase it, but all that swearing and yelling and attacking that I used to do. Like, who would I be today had I allowed myself to continue to do that? And here's the funny thing. I was sharing this story over the weekend with some of the leaders we were with, and they were like, what? I can't imagine you acting like that. But that's because I made a decision that I wasn't going to be that anymore. That was ridiculous. And the truth is, we are human and we have choice. So I don't care what your past has been like. What are you doing in the moment? What are you choosing today? Like, that's what matters. You don't know what's coming tomorrow, and the past is behind you. Don't look back there anymore. Who are you now? Are you holding yourself to the highest standard of excellence? Have you forgiven those who may have done something to you or whatever? Or have you forgiven yourself for the life that you have created or experiences that you've had that you played a part in creating? Right? That's a good question. These are such good questions. But it's not easy, and it takes discipline. But I love what Jim Rohn always said. You'll have the pain of discipline or the pain of regret. Which do you choose? Like, seriously, had I married that abusive man and I was still with him, what kind of life would I be living today? I had to choose the pain of discipline. I had to choose the unknown. I had to choose faith over fear to become whom I'm meant to be in the world, to change the lives I'm meant to change, to touch those, to inspire those I'm meant to inspire. Who are you going to become? And in this process, how willing are you to face these thoughts that you create or allow to yourself to create, which then leads to your words, which then leads to your actions, which then leads to your emotions? And where's that locus of control? Do you see? Is it within you or is it outside of you? So our second foundation, oh my gosh, you guys, we have to get through 4 of these. So let me just speed it up. So the second foundation is your purpose and vision. Okay. So clarifying your purpose. Why are you here? What do you want to do in this world? I had challenged our mastermind participants, and I see some of you on here with us. So hello and congratulations for earning that mastermind event. But here's my question to you today. What is your mission statement? Type it in the comments for us. What is your mission statement? We have 45 live viewers. Can we get 45 comments? I know some of you are just watching and you're always watching my videos and you don't comment. That's fine. I appreciate you being here anyway. But if you will, please comment for me. What is your mission statement? Why are you here in this world? What are you supposed to do in the world, right? Oh yeah, and you can click the follow button. Yes. Hi, Amber. We're talking about your mission statement. Amber, I know you've set up a mission statement. So let's just ask yourself, what is it that you want to create in this world? Okay? Purpose is critical. Psychologists have proven it time and again, that when you have purpose, you actually wake up with determination. And because you have determination, you know what your true north is. And then these little things that derail us, they're not as likely to derail us because this is the true north. Okay? So let me have you consider that for a moment. That really is important. Never underestimate the power of purpose, the desire to make a difference, and driving you forward in your business, because that helps you overcome these challenges. My purpose is to uplift and inspire people, to put God at the forefront of my business, to return to love, to share love everywhere I go. In fact, yesterday it was the craziest thing. I kept having this prayer pop up for me, and I kept praying it in random places because I was traveling across the country. I remember standing in the bathroom line in the airplane, and I just was like staring at the ceiling, and all of a sudden I'm praying, "Dear God, please make me more like Mother Teresa and Gandhi." like that just comes out as a prayer, and I'm like, where is that coming from? And then I was like, what were Mother and Teresa and Gandhi like, and how was it that they were like that, and how much peace and joy were they experiencing? A lot, I know. And then I decided I need to read some autobiographies about them. Do you see how these prayers can just take us in entirely new directions? It's fascinating. Okay, so I want you to ask yourself, what is that purpose for you? And then ask yourself, why is that so important to me? Okay, so what is the purpose for you, and why is it important to you? So if you have a mission statement, hi Elena, if you have a mission statement, please type it in the comments. I want to see it. Because there's some people here that are stuck. They haven't ever thought about this before, but it's time. It's time to have a mission statement. Yes, Andrea, thank you. I'm so glad you're here, girl. She says to guide people to be who God has placed them on earth to be. We all have a gift to share. Andrea, can I bring you on as a guest right now? Can I click invite to share? I'm going to try it. If you're available, say yes. And if no, then just decline. I want to bring her on. She's so great. So Andrea and I were together in the Carolinas this week. Hopefully your phone will work. I think you have to have it sideways if it's not working. Okay. So to connect, uplift, lead with a pure heart, build a legacy for my children, to help others, Lisa says. Great. I'm so glad to see you guys have your mission statements written down. Okay. Now, I want you to, a lot of people will say they want more money, and that's totally fine, because with more money, we can do more good. Having more money is not equivalent to being a nasty, mean person, just so you know. That is part of our cultural conditioning, though, right? So maybe having more money is important to you because you want to give big in the world. There she is. Bring you on. Okay. So if your question is, why do I, oh, I'm going to ask you, hi.
Hi.
I'm going to go through this exercise with you to model for them. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So let's say that you want to bring more money into your family as one of your desires. Okay. Which I know is true, right? So I'm going to ask you, Andrea, why do you want more money?
So that I don't have to tell my kids no, like I used to.
And why is that important to you?
Because I've had to do it for so long, and it really used to hurt me every time I had to say that. And so now I don't have to say it, and I am comfortable with saying yes or saying no, but saying no because maybe they don't deserve it, but not saying no because I don't have it.
There's a difference, right? A distinction. Yeah. So essentially, to create independence.
Correct.
And
my biggest thing was to show them that if you set your goals to something, you know, it can happen. I have to be the model for them and show them that you don't have to really suffer or struggle, that if you want something, you have to make it happen. That's important for me to show them.
Yes. So when, as we're modeling for everyone that's watching, I want you all to write down what the original goal is or the desire is. So for Andrea, we're using this example as to bring in more money to create financial freedom and independence, to model for the kids that they can do that. And then I want you to ask 5 questions around that. So did you see how I asked her questions to get her deeper and deeper into her answer? So what tends to happen is we have a surface answer, and then we want to go deeper and deeper, right? And that will help you clarify the purpose. That will help you to find what's at the heart of it. So for Andrea, it's to create independence, financial independence, to model for the children that we have the means, and we don't always have to indulge, but we have the means, right? We have options.
Right.
Yeah. And so Andrea, let me ask you, why are options important to you?
Because that's what brings out in us who we truly are. If you're giving an option to go left or right, you know, are you going to choose the right path for yourself, or are you going to choose the path that somebody else tells you to take? Yes. And I want to make the choice that's right for me, not right for everybody else around me.
How do we phrase that? Is there a word for that? Oh, well, basically it's the lotus of control.
Right.
Yeah, that you are the captain of the ship.
Exactly.
Yes. Oh my gosh, that's so good. I'm like, oh yes, that's so good.
Yes. Can you tell I learned a lot this last 3 days with you?
I can tell, because look at how thoughtful and like you really are. Sometimes, like, because you and I can be totally transparent right here.
Absolutely.
Okay, because sometimes, Andrea, and I know a lot of the viewers here too, sometimes you, and me too, I'm going to take ownership here as well. We can talk, instead of taking a breath and getting it out of our heads and into our hearts.
Right.
Which is what I'm seeing you do right now, because you're like breathing deeper.
Mm-hmm.
You're not rushing to answer. I'm really proud of you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Seriously.
I feel better.
Look at the,
I do feel
hearts
better.
and thumbs up you're getting.
I might look a little rough today, but that's okay.
Oh, heck, me too. I know it. Seriously, that travel day yesterday was crazy. Okay, so basically, to paraphrase for everyone for this second foundation is clarify your purpose. On the surface, the goal is money, but at the heart of that is to have the financial independence, to have the choice, right?
Right.
To have the locus of control, that you are the captain of your ship.
Right.
To take ownership.
And to realize that I deserve it. And that's at the root of it. I deserve it. And either I'm going to continue to have that self-doubt, or I'm going to find it within me to make myself happy.
Yes.
I don't, that's the bottom line. I have to do it for myself.
Absolutely. So the next step then is, or the next foundation is, craft your vision and embed it into your subconscious.
Okay.
What does that mean for you?
To live every day with that and to let that guide me.
Mm-hmm.
That's not to force it, to just let it happen.
Yes. So I will continue with this with you as an example for everyone watching. Basically, to craft your vision, and you guys can come back and watch the replay, pause the video, right? But so, Andrea, to craft your vision, I want you to write a story of the celebration when you achieve the financial independence. Write that story of the celebration in present tense.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes,
So
ma'am.
you're using the verb choice that's the present tense, as if you have already accomplished what you are describing.
Okay.
And then you're going to choose a vision date for that. When do you foresee that happening for you? Feel into it. Close your eyes. Into your heart. Deep breath.
Now. It needs to be now.
Now, yes. Good.
Yeah.
So I want you to write that story. All of you too. All of you do this. Write that story of what is that vision. Some people find it easier to begin with this statement. It's now blank date, and we are celebrating because ... And so you're going to write that story. And a lot of people, they always resist it when I say, write it down, journal. But it is such a game changer. How many of you have started journaling? Have you, Andrea?
Yeah, I did. I started last night.
Yay. And how is it going? How was it for you?
Good. It feels good to get it out and on something that I can look back on when I question maybe some of my thoughts, and I can go back and realize that I am growing. And if I don't have that written down, you question yourself.
Of course. You're totally growing. I know it.
Yeah. And I need that for me.
Yes. We all do.
Yes.
We all do. So, yes, and anyone that missed the first part of this video, please, you'll have to watch the whole thing. I share my story. I mean, it is good. We go deep. We go real deep. So make sure you're tagging your people, because I know that this will change some lives.
Absolutely.
Okay, so the third foundational cornerstone, which I know we were talking, or I've shared all four of them with you 10 minutes ago, but the third foundational cornerstone for this success in dealing with yourself and mentoring yourself is your honest assessment of your current reality. Right? So there's a journaling prompt for you.
Yes.
Honest assessment of your current reality. Where are your emotions? Where is your spirituality? Where are you with your health and wellness? Are you prioritizing your fitness, whatever, right? We know the body needs to move
Right.
every single day. Are we doing that? Why not? Right? These questions are very important because we need to get into reality with where we are in the moment so that we know what we need to change to get to where we desire to be. Right? That's our roadmap. So let's see. I keep looking at my notes here. So assessing your current reality. And I want you to, you've based your vision, which we just crafted a vision and a purpose. And now we're assessing the current reality. So I want you to include in this business,
Okay.
finances,
Okay.
physical health,
All right.
mental
Okay.
health, spiritual health, relationships, learning, and recreation or fun. All of these are components that will create the life, help you create the life that you desire, because that's going to give you this roadmap for where you want to be and where do we need to put a little more focus and love. Because if we're derailing in any of these areas, that's going to be an indication for you that you're not yet really feeling worthy. And that you're still choosing fear over faith. And I'm not speaking from a place of I've got it all perfect and figured out. I'm just saying this is a process and we're all on this journey together.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. It's an everyday journey.
Exactly. So I want you to take some time this weekend. That can be part of your journaling exercise, is to assess your current reality in those areas and then make the decision about how are you going to prioritize these areas. Talk it over with Jeff, right? That's his name.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God,
right.
oh my God, his name right.
You're right.
Talking it over with him too. You guys are like getting on board with what this looks like for you, because here's the thing. When we get these different areas of our life, when we clean our house a little bit and we get these areas good, I mean, every part of our lives benefits as a result.
Correct.
It's so powerful.
And he's been one of my biggest foundations.
Oh, I know he has. Which is why I think this is a good thing for you to do. Like, do the journaling first, and then, on date night, discuss this. And,
we can
be
do that.
Transparent, be authentic, and ask for where's he at with this. And it's really powerful when we do that with our partners.
Yep, I can do that.
Awesome. Okay, so then the power of belief. So here's the power of belief as it relates to your business. We're going to discuss that next, because without a rock solid belief in yourself, in your vision, and where you're headed, your business, your products, right? Then we are easily derailed when we face challenges as they come up in our lives.
Right.
As I'm sure you've experienced. Do you have any examples?
Yeah, hold on, let me grab my phone is about to go bloop. Hold on. Sorry. Let me grab my charger real quick. I apologize.
No worries.
So what happens, right?
Yes.
It does.
I know. I'm going to have to grab mine while you start talking. We're doing a very long live stream today. Look at everyone who's still on with us. Click the share button. Some people have
That's okay, because I like it.
Like, what? This is so long.
I like it.
I want
Let
you
me plug it up.
to share with everyone as you're plugging in, where have you seen that lack of belief derail you and take you away from your goals? Is there any example?
An example would be,
I'm grabbing my charger.
Let's see. I would think an example of maybe allowing what happens with other people to affect my day-to-day
Good one.
purpose or my drive.
Yeah.
I think that's been my biggest thing.
Okay. So
is having to realize that my other people's problems are not mine.
Yes, 100%. So how can you knowing this, how can you support yourself when those things happen? Because you know they will continue to show up.
As you say, not my, not your circus, not my monkey kind of a thing.
Yes.
Is to remove myself from it immediately.
And
that's going to be the biggest thing that I have to learn.
What about a boundary and saying something? Can you say anything?
A boundary?
Yeah, like support you. Maybe tell somebody that if they've got something going on, it's distracting you, and like, can you set a boundary and say, I'm not available for this conversation?
Absolutely.
I
can do that. I mean,
how could you say it in a supportive, loving way so the person still feels loved on but not rejected?
I think just being honest with them and just saying, hey, I know you've got things going on, and I respect that, but I need you to deal with that.
Yes.
And I am here for anything else other than that. I need positive. And if you're feeling negative, I can't participate in that because that's not where I'm at right now.
Yes, I think, and in business, that's totally appropriate.
Absolutely.
And I know that sometimes in business lines can be blurred because our business partners also become our friends. But let's remember that everybody has a goal of freedom. And sometimes we use talking about other stuff, as procrastination and a form of self-sabotage, because then our time is there instead of in the activities that build the business. And so then everybody suffers as a result.
Right.
And there's nothing wrong.
And then at the end of the day, if I got off of what they're doing, at the end of the day, what have I gotten done for myself?
Exactly. Right. And then we have to go to locus of control and take ownership for the fact that we allowed ourselves to derail again. And is this a pattern? Right. Perfect journaling entry.
Exactly. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so I'm gonna do a quick belief assessment with you, and I want you to tell me on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being no, not at all, and 10 being I'm rock solid, where you land. Okay. So I'm gonna ask you a few questions, or I'm just gonna say belief in ... and you'll tell me between 1 and 10. Okay, so on a scale of 1 to 10, belief in yourself.
10.
Good girl. Belief in your vision.
A 10.
Belief in the network marketing business model or profession, our business, for example.
A 10. Definitely.
Belief in your company.
100% 10.
Belief in your products.
100% 10. Love them.
Belief in your compensation plan.
It's a 10. I'm still working on personally.
Yes.
Getting to a more solid 10. A belief in what I can do. Yes. So that's between an 8 and a 10, honestly.
Well, okay. So, and I'm going to go back through because I know you guys are probably like, well, what if we're not a 10? So let me go back through and give you a couple of key solutions for those questions. Okay. So belief in yourself, your key solution would be action. Practice builds confidence. Okay. So step forward, raise your hand and say, I'm taking action. I'm going to be consistent and I'm doing it every day. So
exactly.
If I can't remember, Andrea, is there any part of your business that you want to get stronger?
Yes. My personal business. I have a tendency to not do that sometimes till later. And so my thing is, first thing in the day, I need to take care of all of me personally so that when I focus on the rest of my team the rest of the day, I'm confident that I have taken care of my personal business first, which is what's important. So
So calendar blocking.
Yes, absolutely. Blair and I talked about this weekend.
Yes, not multitasking.
Exactly.
And
I caught myself doing that today and I had to stop.
Good girl. and then the key tip for this, like the calendar blocking, not multitasking. This third piece is set your timer, right? 20,
Yes.
25 minutes,
Yes.
set your timer. You can focus on something for that long. And if you're having trouble with 20, 25 minutes, do it for 10. Nothing else can come into your distraction until that timer goes off. You are focused. You are taking action. Okay?
And I have to say no if it's not in that time frame.
Yes, you must. You can put your phone on Do Not Disturb.
Yes. Right.
Okay, so belief in your vision. Now, if any of you are lacking belief in your vision, the key solution is post your vision in a visible place, review it daily, and use affirmations. I am statements. Do you have that posted where you can see it too?
Yeah, it's actually in my living room right now. It says 200K, I will be. Yay. And I have had that up there since March 24th, and it has been there. So I looked at it every single day until I was where I wanted to be in July. Awesome. So yes, I always put everything with I am. It's not I will be, it's I am.
Yes, absolutely. Love it.
Yep.
Love it. Okay, so belief in network marketing business model or profession. The key solution to that, if you're not a 10, is name at least 3 reasons why this is a viable model. I mean, that's easy for me anyway. I don't have a boss. I don't have to go to work. I don't have to report in. I don't have to take vacation days. I don't have to take sick days. My growth is exponentially viable, right? My income potential.
Right.
I don't have to have any special education. Yep. It doesn't care what my race is, my background, my religion, whatever, right? So potential, huge potential. Right. Believe in your company, plug in.
That's huge, yes.
Yeah. Right?
That's big.
Yeah.
You have to believe in what you represent.
Yes. So, and don't you think that, like we did all those locals this week, couldn't you even see in the feedback we received, like their belief level went sky high?
It was amazing. It was great. I've seen a lot of things happen in those 3 days that I hadn't seen ever before, and it was amazing to watch all of these people literally open up and give us that vulnerability that we all needed to see. Yes. It was great.
It was so good. Yep.
I'm so proud of them.
Me too. So proud. Yeah. So stay engaged through the calls, the corporate calls, the team calls, attend locals, hop on these Zooms with us or these live streams with us. Those who show up, go up. I always say that. Those who show up, go up. If you're not calendaring when we have the corporate calls and you're not dialing in, you're not going to build your belief. You'll fade away. You don't want that.
Yep.
Prioritize it. And then belief in your products. Well, that's an easy solution. Take them every day. You'll love them.
Every day. Every single day.
Totally. And then this one
and get them to many people's hands.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Belief in your compensation plan. If you're not a 10, then that tells me that you need to take more actions to earn your weekly check as quickly as possible. Based on our payment plan, you will grow, your checks will grow, and your team will follow as well because they'll see your success.
Right.
So hopefully,
and that was something that you were like this weekend, making sure everybody knows what they need and not being ashamed of why they need it. Yeah. I mean, be honest with yourself. What do you need weekly? What do you need monthly? And it's okay.
Yes, 100% okay. 100%. So those are the 4 foundations that I wanted to cover with you all today on this live stream. Hopefully you've gotten a lot out of it. I think that next week we are going to do the habits that drive success. So I have 6
That could be a great one.
Yes.
Yes.
I have 6 habits of the highly successful network marketing leader and le-vel leader. And I think that they really have applied to my business. I mean, it's why I believe I've become so successful. I'll share them with you briefly so you can at least think about it. Make sure you show up. Put it on your calendar. Click follow on this video. But habit number 1 is creating your dreams and goals. 2 is cultivating the right thoughts. 3 is renewing your spirit. 4 is letting go of rejection. That's a big one. 5,
That's a big one.
Having courage. And then our final habit is practicing professional perseverance and yourself to the highest standard of excellence.
Yes. Amazing. Love those.
Yeah, I know, right? It's going to be good. So who's excited to watch this video again next week? Who's going to watch the replay with their journal today and go through some of those exercises I just did with you? Is that your dog? Who is that?
She has to say hi.
Oh, there she is.
Say
I
hi.
want to see that lab. Cute. So cute.
She's like a big horse.
I know, right? She's like, let me stand in your lap.
I know, right? She's too big.
Yes, so fun. All right, you guys, thanks for tuning in. And I'd love your feedback on the video. We will do this again next week. Like I said, sharing the habits of the highly successful leader. And I want you all to drop your comments in the comments below as Andrea gets mauled by the puppy.
Well, thank you. Oh, I'm getting attacked here.
Too cute. Too cute. All right, you guys.
She's
Thanks
a
for
mess.
tuning in today.
All right, thank you.
Thanks for hopping on.
Love you.
Love you.
All right, bye.
Bye.